Good morning. This is Natasha, founder of On Purpose Projects, bringing you another tip about how to create a high performance business website. One thing that we see with website work is, as you know, it goes in phases. We have the onboarding, and then we have the designing, and we have the developing, and then we have the final testing. And of all those phases, the one where you're most likely, unfortunately, to run into stress and drama and problems is the final phase, where the beginning is fun, we're doing design and then we're building it and you're seeing it come to life and it's cool. And then it's like as you get closer and closer to the launch, what happens in a lot of cases is clients will sort of back off. They'll say, okay, it's underway, everything's fine, and you may even go on vacation. We had this happen sometimes where they're like, okay, looks good, everything's okay, and then they kind of take a break and they give a deadline. They're like, okay, November the 1st, this is when we want this live. And then they kind of back off. And I always tell clients, I'm like, no, this final phase is where we need you the most. We need you to go through the entire thing, check it, test it, review it, click on everything. Because on our end, we'll test it, but we need you to test it as well, because there's nothing worse than coming to that final end, that final week, and you realize you haven't really been paying enough attention. Maybe there were changes, or maybe you've got another idea, or you need another landing page, or oh my gosh, I forgot to add this, and trying to cram that in at the end is incredibly stressful for everyone, for you and for your web team. So what I like to tell clients is, okay, so if let's just say we have an 8-week period for that website project, let's say, during the development phase, while we're building those mock-ups, go on vacation by all means. Like, we can do that. We don't need you for that, because that's just us putting our head down and building that site. However, those last 2 weeks before the launch, we need you available. We need you to test things, test it on your phone, test it on your desktop, test it on your laptop, look at it in multiple browsers, multiple screens, because we'll test it again on our end, but you need the one who needs to give final sign off. And I know this as well from running a team. I run a team that I trust implicitly. I've had people that worked with me for years, but I get sloppy sometimes. If I'm busy, I'll assign a task. I'll say, hey, I need this done. And then the day before I actually have to put it live or whatever, I check it and something's missing or something's wrong. And it happens a lot. And I think it's just part of normal practice. And it just reminds me that I make the same mistake where I want to just delegate it and not take responsibility for the success of it, and put it on someone else's plate, and then assume everything is exactly what I want, even though like I feel like I've explained it properly. But then when you come back in and you check it, you have to always remember, I have to always remind myself as well, that I need to give myself time for final sign off. Because maybe something's missing, or it's not working exactly how I thought, or it doesn't look exactly the way I thought. And to cram that in, to rush at the end, again, it causes so much panic for people. So if you're at the end of a project, make sure you've blocked, depending on the size of your site, obviously, 1 week, 2 weeks to do final review, final changes, final additions. You test it, someone on your team test it, get one of your favorite clients to test it, run it through so that when it's launch day, you are clear, you're breathing easy, everything is organized, because rush work and tech does not go together. So all this to say is the success of a project really falls at that end phase. That's the most crucial phase. So when you need to be available is at the end. And again, it's like that expression, trust but verify, right? I love our team. I love what we do. I think we're great at what we do, but ultimately you as a client, you need to give final sign off and green light that everything is working the way you want it to be, whether it's us or someone else, whoever you hire. Give yourself time. Understand that there will be cleanup things to be done. That's very normal. Somewhere along the way, something got misinterpreted, something went wrong. We kind of talked about that yesterday. But we have that window to clean it up. So anyhow, if you have any questions about that, obviously at any time, drop a comment below. If you are just starting a redesign project or you're starting a new site, check out my website planning course below. As we know, clarity is the key to a website project success. And I will talk to you tomorrow.